Hello and welcome. All right, I am finally getting to my video on the Japanese sweet potato, and it is my favorite. Okay, don't remember how I came across learning about the Japanese sweet potato. It may have been the flesh of the sweet potato that intrigued me, but I tried it one time, and even though I eat the orange flesh sweet potatoes, I really, really, really enjoy the white flesh sweet potato. I've cut one open, and as you can see, it's a white flesh, okay? And the good thing about this, as if you bake it, okay, you have a baked sweet potato, and I'm so excited because I think I'm gonna bake this one for lunch tomorrow. It will have like a yellow tint to it when you're done baking it, and it's pretty much because the sugar is caramelizing inside. And outside of it being an awesome sweet potato, um, you don't have to add sugar, cinnamon. I use a little ghee butter, but just a little bit. It needs nothing. You can bake it, take it, and go. All right. Um, I find that it has a stiffness to it. It's not as wet as your typical orange sweet potato, even after you bake it. But I like the earthy. It's like a earth type taste, and you don't have to add anything. Okay. Now, I do grow these, and I have turned many people onto the Japanese sweet potato. I've had people make sweet potato pies out of them, and you got to kind of play around with them because of all the sugar. It can be kind of a little thicker than your orange flesh sweet potato. So you may have to add a little more cream or however you want to loosen it up if you decide to make a sweet potato with it. I've had people I've sent these sweet potatoes to, and they have enjoyed them. So I want you to try it. You can get them from a co-op. You can get them from an Asian market. You can get them from Whole Foods. Now there is a proper name for them, and I don't think I can pronounce that name. It's Mikowski. I don't know, but anyway, most people know them based on the red flesh. Okay, I know it as the Japanese sweet potato, and because I love them and I will seek them out and always have them in the house, I could just look at it and say, okay, that's the sweet potato that I want. Put some of them in the shopping cart. All right. But anyway, just try it. Try the Japanese sweet potato and see if you like it. And if you do, try to find an organic way, an organic option with getting the sweet potato. And the reason why I say that is because as you grow your sweet potato slips off of your seed potato, you want to make sure that you don't have a sweet potato that has been sprayed, that has gone through some unconventional ways, because you don't want anything to transfer from that seed potato onto the many potatoes that this one potato is going to produce. Okay. Um, I was going to talk tonight about the different ways that I produce my own vines off of my sweet potatoes, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm going to tell you who I do follow, and it has made the world of difference. I don't necessarily put my uh, toothpick into my sweet potato anymore to put it into a water container, how you used to do it in grammar school and science class. That works, and many people do it, and they're successful. But I follow a fella by the name of Danny and Wanda, Deep South Homestead. I even purchased his guide of growing sweet potatoes because he does a great job. And so, if you want to find out how to grow really, really good sweet potatoes, you need to go to his channel and pull up his playlist, because he's been producing videos on it for a long time. And patronize him, and if you can, get that book off of his Etsy website. But I actually will put the whole entire sweet potato down in dirt and put my container onto a heat mat in my sunroom. And over time, I'll produce really beautiful sweet potato slips, and that is what I put into my ground. I have done it the fourth grade science way, where it's in a water cup and you get, you put it in the sunny window, and good. But I find that doing it his way, I produce much bigger, better, stronger sweet potatoes. The one thing that I want to also caution you is, a lot of people will say these Japanese sweet potatoes, if you're going to grow them, you only need like 140, 150 days. I find that they need more time, okay? I am in North Carolina. I have a really long growing season, but I will take these sweet potatoes as far as I can take them before my first frost, okay? So you want to get them in the ground as quick as you can. You don't want to plant them too early, but you want to make sure that you give them longer than what is stated in a lot of the literature, okay? You can pull them when they say 140. I forgot the actual number, but they're going to be really, really small. You're going to feel like you have wasted space in your garden and you didn't really get much back from the sweet potatoes. So take it from me, let them stay as long as you can, okay? If you have a short growing season, this sweet potato may not be the option for you to grow. And it's only through my experience that they need a hot climate, but they need a much longer growing um, season when you are, trying to produce them, as opposed to what, the literature, the experts would tell you, okay? So make sure, even if you don't plant them this year, try to find one where you can see what they taste like. Every person, and I want to caution you about something else, but every person that I have turned on about this sweet potato, I've sent them these sweet potatoes. They are just over the moon about them, okay? Now, I do have a friend in Texas, and I think I told her about them, and she went out and she got them, okay? And she had a wonderful time eating them, but she also told me that it caused her blood sugar to spike. So if you have concerns with your blood sugar, I mean, they're sweet, you may want to portion size and maybe eat this much as opposed to this much, okay? So cut it in half if you are watching your sugar intake, calorie intake, and especially if you are someone where you're trying to regulate your blood sugars because you're a diabetic. All right, so that is all I have to say. I just want to share with you guys some of the wonderful things that we are doing on our land. As you learn more about us, we are a brand new channel, not brand new by any stretch of the imagination. I have been a stalker of other channels for many, many years. And it was one YouTuber that encouraged others to have a seat at the table. We want to see your channel. Get your channel up. Get your channel up. And I don't personally know him, but when you go into his live streams and you're at the what does he call it, the greenhouse lounge and all of that good stuff, I want to kind of publicly acknowledge the fact that I was listening, even though every time I would hear you say it, I'm just like, no, I don't like to see myself on TV. But leadfarmer73, I was the one that sent you these potatoes maybe 3-4 years ago, and I'm hoping that you're still growing them. But also to thank you for encouraging me to get out there and to show people that you can do it. We moved from what would be considered a post stamp size garden in a HOA where they tell you can't do this, you can't do that. And you couldn't tell me that I didn't have many, many acres the way I explained it to people, and how I was able to organize and grow so much in that small square box in my backyard. And I call it a box because it was an area, but it was small. And now that we have our land, I am super duper excited. And it's not because I think I have all of the knowledge. I'm still learning, but there's a lot that I've done along the way in the game of homesteading, knowing and seeing some of the things that we have to change, how we consume and produce, based on the things that I'm seeing in the grocery store that's happening in the world. And I would not be where I'm at in this journey had I not stumbled across his channel and many other channels. But I want to say, and I don't know if he'll ever see this video, but it's not important, you know. I want to thank him, and I want to thank, as I go along in other videos, other people and other channels that I faithfully watch. I have a handful of them, but he encouraged, and it was almost like that love hate that he would put out there, where it's like, is he talking about me? Like, is he like really like looking at me as he, you know, he's sitting behind a computer, but he's also throwing it out there that you need to get your channel out there. And I'm going to keep on doing it. Sometimes it's a task, you know, to sit down. I haven't gotten the editing part down yet, but I'll get there. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and get you a Japanese sweet potato.